Let's take you to KZN now. That's where the mayor of eThekwini has announced that beaches will open by the 1st of December. This comes just days after a report that found the beaches were unsafe with raw sewage flowing freely into the ocean. Now, opposition parties are questioning this move, and that's where we find Nobuhle Modise, who is our colleague in Durban. Nobuhle, a basic analysis of this will suggest one of two things, and that is that the city is or has become desperate in this tourism season that is upon us. Visitors will obviously want to go to the beach, or it could be that the city is convinced that the beaches are genuinely safe to go and bathe. Which is it?
You've hit the nail right on the head, Xoli. We are actually in the popular seaside town of Umhlanga at the moment, and we were trying to get into the Ohlanga pump station, which has been cited as one of the problematic sewage pump stations that has led the city to where we are now. And indeed, the city is saying a different story, that everything is all well. But according to opposition parties, it is not all well. They're saying that the Ohlanga pump station is functioning at its highest capacity, while opposition parties are saying that is not entirely true. You know that Umhlanga, as I mentioned, a popular seaside town, there's projections that should the beaches not be open by that 1st of December or in time for the festive season, there's a projected 25 million rand a day loss that will be seen in the city. So we might say that a government is indeed desperate, or maybe there's some other reasoning to it. But I'm actually joined here by one of the someone from the opposition party. I'm joined by Nicole Bowman, who is the councillor for the DA, and I just want her to explain to us what they mean when they say that the city isn't ready, as opposed to what the mayor has told us.
Okay, thank you very much for this opportunity. I think what we need to focus on is that there are two variants at the moment. There's the pump station, which we know was damaged and has been highlighted, and I've been following its repair quite substantially. But there's also a subsequent overflows in various spots along the Umhlanga River, which, and if I use the example of Izinga, is vastly more, the quantity of water coming out of that manhole is vastly more than what was coming out of the Umhlanga River. The Umhlanga pump station. So although the pump station looks prepared and has been commissioned, there's a lot of subsequent issues that haven't been addressed as yet. Well, as of my oversight yesterday, they hadn't been addressed.
Just speak to us about what some of those issues are.
Okay, so the biggest one for me is what's happening in Izinga. Izinga is one of the suburbs in Ward 35, the Greater Umhlanga, and that has been blocked since the floods in April, with many requests for it to be unblocked. Basically, I've been advised that it was reliant on the functionality of the pump station. But obviously, with the mayor's statement that was made, I did oversight yesterday to find that really nothing had changed. In fact, in some areas in the Izinga suburb, it had gotten worse. So I had new outflows rather than the existing outflow reducing. So that's in Izinga. Then just further up, about 15 kilometers upstream from the Umhlanga, from the estuary, is a place called Peace Palm. Now, Peace Palm has had raw sewage flowing out of a pipe since April. Many requests to the city, pleads from the community, and it's not only that, it's a human rights violation there. I mean, you've got an entire community of people living with raw effluent right on their doorstep, to the point where, because the backfill and so on and so forth hasn't happened, their homes are literally suspended in the air. The foundations of their homes are now suspended. With the rain on Friday that we experienced, further collapse of the soil there. So we've got these mitigating factors that are going to contribute to a greater issue at the estuary and eventually into our oceans.
Then, Nicole, why then do you think that the mayor is then telling a different story to what? I mean, you've had many oversight visits, as you've explained. Why is it then that the mayor is saying everything is good to go?
I honestly do not know. I don't know if it is that he's not in touch with reality, or he's been advised differently. None of these issues that exist are new. They've been going for 7-8 months now. So I'm not 100% sure. My biggest concern, of course, I'm pro-tourism. I want business. I mean, we have had, I call it the eThekwini trifecta. So it's COVID, the riots, and now this. We have had, tourism has been hard hit in the suburbs that I represent in Umhlanga. We want the beaches open, but also not at the risk of the people that will come to our shores unknowingly thinking that it's all fine until they get sick. We've also got the issue at the estuary. That's also, it's a breeding ground. I mean, E. coli has to culture, and it's a lovely breeding ground. Last time I was there was maybe a week ago. The water was as black as your jacket. So that also still needs to get into the ocean and dilute and potentially affect the water in the swimming areas as well.
Nicole, Mayor Mxolisi Kaunda has said that 1st of December, beaches will be open, everything is good to go. Would you say a lot more time is needed? I mean, they're saying to the public that scientists have declared that the water has been tested, everything is all good. The 1st of December is approaching. Would you say that more time is needed?
Okay, I'm not one to disagree with a scientist, but I am one to ask where those readings are and where the findings are, which hasn't been made public. So I don't know which scientists, I don't know where the readings are, I don't know on what capacity those statements have been made. It's easy to talk. So if that is something that the city could present, but not to me, to the community, to the residents, that's who we're beholden to, the residents of eThekwini and our tourists. Whether we're going to be ready on the 1st of December, I think we are on the precipice. If these issues along the river don't get fixed quite quickly, like within, what are we now, 5 days time, 6 days time, I think we're going to see a different story. And hopefully not. I hope that the mayor and the city of Durban do prove me wrong. But as of right now and of what I've seen, it's a different story to what he's presenting to the people of eThekwini and our tourism.
Thank you so much. Nicole Bowman, and DA councillor, just saying there, giving us a comprehensive analysis of why she believes that the mayor is probably way over his head by saying that beaches will be opened by the 1st of December, making it clear that a lot more time is needed indeed before those beaches are open because of the sewage crisis that we've seen. You may remember that on the 16th of December, opposition parties like her and Action SA did take the city to court just to speak about these issues and see a way forward. But it seems the 1st of December is going to be business as usual. Oli?
Well, Nobuhle, we are going to have to get the mayor and understand exactly what the science behind what he has announced is. Because if the view is that the beaches are unsafe, then he might possibly be committing a crime here, because he's sending people to a hazard.